Well, this Valentine's Day will be, unfortunately, unlike that picture, a dark and sad one for a local woman who thought she had found love online.
But what she found instead was an elaborate scam.
Martha is a woman in San Diego who believed she had finally found something rare, a steady, affectionate relationship that made her feel seen and valued. According to Martha, the connection began online, built slowly over time, and unfolded in the private space of daily messages and constant reassurance. Then, after months of emotional investment, she says the relationship turned into something else, an urgent series of financial requests that she tried to meet out of loyalty and love. By the time she ended it, Martha says she had sent $32,000 to someone she had never met in person. She asked that her real name not be used, and she has kept the loss hidden from the people closest to her. According to her, the hardest part isn't only the money. When asked what she missed most, she paused before answering in a hushed voice. She says she missed the love. According to Martha, the relationship started about a year before she spoke publicly, when she met a man through a dating app. She says the early conversations felt casual, friendly messages that didn't immediately set off alarm bells. Over time, she describes the tone changing from light talk to something more intimate and trusting. The person she believed she was talking to claimed to be a San Diego architect who was working overseas in Poland. According to Martha, that detail made the distance feel temporary and explainable, and it gave the story a kind of professional credibility. She says she liked the way he treated her, and that he made her feel happy in a way she hadn't expected. Martha says she did not share the relationship with her family or friends. She describes feeling that it was private and premature to bring others into it, especially since he wasn't physically present. Later, she also acknowledges the sense of shame that followed, an emotional weight that made it harder to speak up once money entered the picture. According to Martha, nobody in her close circle knows she sent thousands of dollars away, and even now, she isn't sure she wants to tell anyone. She describes feeling foolish for believing in someone she never met face to face, even while the feelings she experienced were real to her. As the months went on, Martha says the messages kept coming, hundreds of them, creating a steady rhythm of affection and emotional reliance. In one message she saved, she says he wrote words like, "I miss you so much, Amor. I hope you are looking after yourself." According to Martha, that kind of language deepened the bond because it sounded like care and commitment. And once trust was established, she says the story shifted. She describes being told that he was having trouble accessing his bank account and that he needed help to keep his business afloat. According to Martha, the requests were framed not as greed, but as a temporary problem, something a partner would help solve. Martha says she sent money more than once. She describes the transfers as acts of support, evidence that she was there for him. According to her, it wasn't one sudden decision, but a series of steps, with each new request coming after enough reassurance to make it feel reasonable. In cases like this, the emotional logic can be powerful. The victim is not only weighing finances, but also the fear of abandoning someone they believe they love. Martha suggests that she wasn't trying to take a risk. She believed she was helping a person she trusted. Ali Armisen, executive director of the Cybercrime Support Network, says romance scams often follow exactly that pattern, methodical, patient, and designed to create a bond that becomes hard to break. According to Armisen, what people outside the situation sometimes miss is that the relationship feels real to the victim. She explains that while the person on the other end is a criminal lying from the start, it can still function as a relationship in the victim's day-to-day life. In other words, the emotional attachment isn't imaginary, it's cultivated, and then it's exploited. Armisen says that over months, sometimes even years, scammers may gradually gather information and assess how much access they can get, not only to a person's heart, but to their finances and personal data. She describes the process as a slow erosion of boundaries. At first, it's affection, attention, constant contact. Then it becomes a problem to solve together. According to Martha, the supposed crisis was his inability to access his bank account. The message behind that claim is simple: I can't do this without you. And once someone accepts that role, the requests can escalate. Martha says that by January, it had become too much. According to her, that was the point where she finally cut him off. She describes an emotional collision, frustration and grief tangled together. She says she didn't even know what she felt, whether she missed him or whether she was just overwhelmed by what she had trusted. As she spoke, she appeared to be holding back tears, describing the shock of realizing that loyalty had been used as leverage. The loss was financial, but it was also deeply personal. She says she trusted him. The shame that follows this kind of betrayal can be isolating. According to Martha, she still does not want to tell anyone. She describes feeling embarrassed that she believed someone she never met in person, and that feeling seems to have kept her from leaning on the support around her. That silence is common, experts say, and it can be one of the reasons romance scams remain so damaging. Armisen says the crime affects mental health, and the harm can persist long after contact with the scammer ends. There are also risks that extend beyond the direct transfers. Armisen warns that victims may share personal details over time, names, addresses, identifying information, and other data that can later be used for identity theft. She says that information can end up on the dark web, leaving victims dealing with a longer, more complex fallout than they expected when the relationship began. Even as the emotional story dominates, the practical consequences can keep spreading. Authorities in San Diego County have described the broader scale of the problem. According to the San Diego County District Attorney, romance scams stole more than $1.3 million from local victims in 2023 alone. That number suggests Martha's experience is not an isolated incident, but one part of a larger pattern affecting people across the region. The financial totals are staggering, but each case is also a story of personal trust being weaponized. In Martha's case, several red flags were present, and experts say those warning signs often appear in similar scams. Armisen points to common indicators: someone who refuses to meet in person, where an excuse always seems to come up; someone who asks for money through methods that are hard to trace or reverse, such as gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency; and someone who works to isolate the victim from family and friends, sometimes by bad-mouthing loved ones or urging secrecy. According to Martha, she didn't tell her children about the relationship, questioning why she should if the man wasn't even there. That kind of separation, whether intentional or gradual, can make it easier for a scammer to remain unchallenged. Despite those indicators, Armisen says it's critical not to blame the victim. She explains that victims may not respond well to judgment from friends or family, especially if those reactions dismiss the feelings involved. Instead, she recommends an approach that validates the person's emotions while also raising concerns. Armisen suggests saying something like, "This sounds amazing, and it's understandable to want love, but it's concerning that the person hasn't been met in person, and that's a known red flag." She recommends investigating together rather than shaming someone into silence. That collaborative approach can sometimes interrupt the scam before more money is sent. As for what happens after the scam is recognized, the outcome is often complicated. In Martha's account, the relationship ended when she cut him off, but the emotional aftermath did not end with the final message. The financial impact is clear: $32,000 sent away, but the psychological damage can be harder to measure. Victims may replay the messages, question their own judgment, and grieve a relationship that felt real, even if it was built on deception. Martha's long pause when asked what she missed most speaks to that conflict. She says it was the love. Support organizations and agencies emphasize that victims are not alone and that resources exist. The Cybercrime Support Network offers information and support for people navigating cyber-enabled fraud, including romance scams. The San Diego District Attorney's Office has also shared safety tips aimed at preventing people from being pulled into similar schemes. For older adults and families seeking guidance, AARP offers advice and a helpline where trained specialists can help someone evaluate whether a relationship or request is legitimate. The preventive steps are often straightforward but emotionally difficult in real time. Experts stress the importance of verifying identity beyond messages and photos, insisting on live interaction and in-person meetings when possible, and treating any urgent financial request as a serious warning sign, especially when the method involves gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. Officials also recommend slowing down, pausing before sending money, talking to someone trusted, and seeking outside verification. When concern arises, reporting the situation to appropriate authorities and support organizations can help document the crime and protect against further damage. Martha's story, told quietly and with visible pain, reflects the core reality of modern romance scams. They are not only about stolen funds, but about stolen trust. According to her, the relationship began with happiness and attention and ended with loss she still struggles to speak about. And by sharing what happened, even under a hidden name, she offers a warning rooted in experience, one that experts say can help others recognize the pattern sooner before affection becomes a pathway to financial harm.
She was seeing a future and unfortunately it turned out to be a lie.
No, I'm so sorry for her.
Sorry for her.
Thank you, Sergio.